Welcome to the Daily Videcasting. Today, the signal is loud and clear. AI is no longer a sandbox experiment. It is the fundamental infrastructure for high-stakes operations. We are tracking a monumental strategy shift where the U.S. Department of War is accelerating its new prime strategy, forcing unprecedented collaboration between powerhouses like NVIDIA and Palantir. And at the same time, the frontier AI race gets benchmarked by a 3D F1 simulation that reveals exactly how wide the gap in complex reasoning truly is. This is the new reality, the relentless demand for precision, from the global battlefield to the microcode.
It's the operationalization phase. And what we're seeing today isn't just, technological evolution. It's a $1 trillion bureaucracy attempting to turn on a dime. The highest stakes stories are all clustering around this convergence of defense, enterprise AI, and the reshaping of the entire job market that follows.
Right, the speed is the real story here.
It is.
Okay, let's unpack this pivot in U.S. defense strategy. We saw that interview clip posted by @MollySochet with Emil Michael. He's the Undersecretary of War for Research and Engineering.
And his mission is pretty radical. He's not talking about small changes.
No, not at all. He's been tasked with creating 5 more highly innovative defense contractors, these new primes, as they're calling them, to stand alongside the big names we already know, like Palantir, SpaceX, and Endural.
Well, what's fascinating here is that it's an admission that the old way of doing things is just broken. It's obsolete. Michael comes from commercial tech, and he's basically trying to get cutting-edge tech into the system without the decades of red tape.
And the focus is on China, specifically 6 critical technology areas.
Exactly. You've got applied AI, hypersonics, contested logistics.
And that's a term that's suddenly everywhere, contested logistics.
It is. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's vital. It's about how you resupply your forces when literally everything, your ships, your satellites, your ports, is being actively targeted.
It's the ultimate operational problem.
It is, and it demands real-time AI. I mean, the lessons from the drone fighting in Ukraine are driving all of this. They just can't afford to wait years for a solution anymore.
So if the government is finally feeling that urgency, how is that showing up on the commercial side?
Well, this defense push immediately feeds the demand for accelerated computing.
Right.
Which brings us to that collaboration highlighted by Adamitas Investing. This is where you see the actual payoff.
The NVIDIA and Palantir partnership, I saw that interview. The VPs of both companies were talking about how integrating NVIDIA's models with Palantir software is just leading to these massive customer wins.
And the Lowe's example is the perfect proof point. I mean, this isn't a small tech startup. This is a massive retailer.
A huge work.
And they optimized inventory across 1,700 stores and 130 distribution centers.
In just 3 weeks.
3 weeks. It's an insane validation of the ROI on these systems.
Okay, but we need to break that down. What does accelerated computing actually do here, and what is this ontology-based software? Why does that combo work so fast?
Great question, because that's the whole magic trick. Accelerated computing, using NVIDIA's GPUs, lets them process these huge data sets all at once, in parallel, not one after the other.
So it's a speed thing.
It's a massive speed thing. But Palantir's ontology, that's the structural glue. Think of it as creating a perfect functional digital twin of everything Lowe's owns. Every product, every truck, every store. The AI isn't guessing based on patterns. It's reasoning based on a structured reality.
Right, so it knows what's what.
It knows what's what. And that's why it works in 3 weeks, not 3 years.
That speed, plus the thread mentioned a 68% reduction in hospital fatalities from AI-driven scheduling. This is not hype. These are tangible results.
Right.
So if defense and massive companies like Lowe's are all in, who's left to actually do the work? Who bridges that gap?
And that takes us straight to Mark Cuban's advice, which was posted by @TBPN. He's arguing the big job market isn't for the AI PhDs anymore. It's for the implementer.
The integrators.
Exactly. He's pointing out this massive vacuum. There are 33 million companies in the U.S., mostly small and medium-sized businesses, that have 0 in-house AI experts.
So the demand isn't for the person who can build a new model from scratch.
No. It's for the person who can walk into a small manufacturing plant, take an existing model, and customize it to improve their quality control. Someone who can show a positive ROI, like tomorrow. That talent is going to be incredibly valuable.
That's a perfect transition, because if implementation is the big opportunity, then the next question is, how good are the models we're actually implementing?
Right. How reliable are they at the frontier?
Which brings us to this great benchmark test from @DiegoCabeza's 01.
And this test was brutal. It was designed to push these models way beyond just writing an email. The task was to generate a single-file HTML, CSS, and JavaScript 3D simulation of an F1 car drifting in a continuous donut.
So he needs to understand physics, geometry, and write flawless code in 3 languages at once.
Yeah, it's a monster of a prompt.
And you had the big 4 go head-to-head, Claude Opus 4.5, GPT 5.2, Gemini 3 Pro, and Grok 4.1.
And the results they show a massive gap in reasoning depth. Claude Opus 4.5 nailed it, a perfect 10 out of 10. It generated 682 lines of code with realistic physics, worked on the first try.
And the others?
The others were a mess. GPT 5.2 and Grok 4.1 either gave a blank output or, and this is my favorite, they generated a floating car with completely failed physics. It didn't work.
Wow. So the gap is still huge when it comes to complex, multi-step reasoning.
It really is.
Yeah.
It shows the difference between a model that can predict the next word in a sentence and one that actually understands the physics those words are describing. Claude, in this one test, showed it has a much deeper internal world model.
Okay, so from generating graphics to just getting raw data, we saw a new tool highlighted by at Iroquois called Parse, an AI web scraper.
This is all about speed and democratizing data. The goal is to let anyone build a reliable data API from a website in seconds.
Right. The video showed it benchmarking against Arrival, browser-based, and it just ripped through 887 NASDAQ earnings report.
In seconds, yeah. For analysts and developers, a tool like that just accelerates the entire research process. It's a huge time saver.
And speaking of accelerating things, we're seeing AI change how we consume content globally. At Signal posted about Meta's new AI translation tool for Reels.
And this is way more than just subtitles.
It's full auto-dubbing with lip syncing that matches the original speaker. It launched for Hindi English and is now expanding.
You know, this feels a lot like 2008 when Facebook crowdsourced translations and instantly went global. Meta's doing the same thing now, but for video. It just obliterates the cost of localizing content.
A huge unlock for creators.
A massive one. But it has a dual edge, right? On one hand, it's amazing for accessibility. On the other, this is another giant leap for deepfake technology. When you can create flawless, instant lip syncing.
It erodes trust in what you see.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And that's a huge concern in all the AI ethics research, like the 2024 studies out of MIT. The better the creation tools get, the more we desperately need validation tools.
That tension between incredible innovation and just frustrating basic flaws is the perfect segue to our reality check segment.
Yeah, the necessary contrast. We can talk about 99.9% reliability for rockets, but sometimes the most viral post is about a simple keyboard bug.
And let's start with that one. A hugely frustrating issue brought up by @Brand McConnell. He's reporting on a critical iOS keyboard bug where you tap one key and a totally different one registers. And it's been an issue for 4 years.
4 years. I mean, that's not a glitch. That's a systemic failure. It's widely reported, it affects basic communication, and yet, nothing.
His post details how he went through all the normal support channels and got nowhere.
And that points to institutional inertia. It's a critical flaw in a core function, but because it doesn't immediately stop a sale or break a new feature, it just gets deprioritized, buried in tickets.
The advice in the thread was basically political, not technical. People were telling him to escalate it directly to an exec like Craig Federighi.
Which just proves the point. The normal system for fixing basic things is broken, even at Apple. And we saw another quick example of professional software friction, too.
Right, the Figma issue from @Automir23, someone reported major lag when resizing a window.
But the clarification came quickly. The user was running Figma on an unofficial, abandoned Linux app. It wasn't an official client.
So user error, essentially.
Essentially. The takeaway isn't about the bug itself, but a reminder that these high-end professional tools require a stable, supported ecosystem to work properly. Precision demands a solid foundation.
A great contrast. 4 years for a keyboard fix versus hyper-efficiency from Palantir and NVIDIA. Okay, let's wrap up with the vibe check. Creation, culture, and some cosmic ambition.
Let's start with a bit of founder philosophy.
We saw this great clip of Naval Ravikant resurface, posted by @Startup Archive. And the advice is so simple, but so challenging. He says, networking is overrated. Do something great, and your network will instantly emerge.
It's such cynical advice, but delivered beautifully. And if you connect it to the data, it holds up.
How so?
Well, CB Insights data shows that 42% of startups fail because of no market need. They built something nobody wanted. Ravikant's point is that if you actually solve a real problem, the market validation is your network. That's the only magnet you need.
It's just so hard to do that when there's so much pressure to build a personal brand first.
It requires an incredible amount of discipline to just shut out the noise and build.
Speaking of building exceptional things, we have to talk about Disney's Stuntronics robot. At Lucasm Ziegler posted about it. It's the Spider-Man stunt double at Avengers Campus.
This is such a perfect fusion of entertainment and robotics. It's an autonomous robot that performs aerial acrobatics. It can fly up to 25 meters, making decisions in real time to stick the landing.
All without risking a human performer. It's precision engineering purely for spectacle.
It really is.
Okay, from earthbound acrobatics to cosmic ambition, NASA just made a huge announcement.
Yes, at NASA announced Moonbound, a free docuseries about the Artemis II mission. This is the first crewed mission to the moon since Apollo.
They're targeting a February 2026 launch, with 4 astronauts, including the first Canadian to go into deep space.
And the complexity is just, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
The SLS rocket alone has over 4 million parts, and the life-or-death engineering, the Orion heat shield, had to be validated for 99.9% reliability against reentry temperatures of 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
That 99.9% target. That's the ultimate expression of the precision theme we've been tracking all day.
The highest bar there is.
Absolutely. Okay, let's finish with a quick vibe roundup. We saw a fun post on gaming physics from @thegameverse, just a little detail in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right, that if you shoot the ropes on a log cart, the logs actually fall off one by one, realistically.
It's that low-stakes joy of detailed simulation.
It builds trust in the world.
Yeah.
And then there was the 3D printed gift box from ADP World with the square years.
Visually captivating, even if it's not the most efficient design. Just cool creation.
And finally, a little nod to the crypto world.
Oh, yeah.
At Fabiano Solana gave a shout out to the winner of the Best Content Creator at the Solana Breakpoint Conference for their threads on stablecoins.
Yeah.
Even in DeFi, there's a real hunger for clear, precise explanation.
So we've tracked the money flowing into defense and AI, we've seen the models pushed to their limits, and we've covered everything from frustrating software bugs to cosmic ambition.
And the one thread connecting all of it, from the Pentagon to the F1 simulation to that Artemis heat shield, is this relentless demand for extreme precision. Precision is the currency of progress right now.
It certainly is. But here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on. Despite all the hyper-advanced defense strategies and AI breakthroughs we discussed, maybe the most exceptional piece of engineering we saw today was Grizzly Bear 399 guiding her rare quartet of 4 cubs to a high-elevation den. Rearing 4 cubs is a sign of incredible maternal skill and a healthy ecosystem. A 100% success rate in a system infinitely more complex than any we can design. What does it tell you? That sometimes the most sophisticated, high-reliability systems are the ones we can only observe, not build.
That's a powerful point, anchoring our little 99.9% against nature's silent 100%. And speaking of building, based on the trends today, I have a clear prediction. Given the urgent need for AI implementers that Mark Cuban pointed out and the high profile of the Department of War's New Primes initiative, my prediction for tomorrow is a rapid influx of private venture capital targeting companies that do one thing: bridge the operational gap. They won't be building new models. They'll be taking existing models and tailoring them for government and those 33 million SMBs. Implementation is the next multi-trillion-dollar market.
A compelling prediction. That's the daily vibe casting for today.